Hi guys, today I want to make a video to share about 5 things you need to know before you move to China. I'm from China and my name is Maomao, and currently I'm living in America. So I have been traveling a lot, and I also live in Japan before, so maybe one more another country. So I kind of have some experience living in another country, and so just based on what I know, I'm gonna share about what you need to know before you move to China. So the first thing you need to know before you move to China is to learn the language. So I know now learning English is very popular in China, and then lots of people can actually speak English more or less in France or professional. But then, and also a lot of big cities, especially those cities around for the beach, ocean, that's even more people can speak much more in French English. But then that's also like a mainland city that's inside in the middle of the country. Then there's not so many people speak the language, or even some city I would say that probably nobody speak that much English. And so if you want to move to our country and live in there, especially I'm talking to people who like to just graduate from high school or college or university and want to live in a low budget in the beginning as they move to China, then you will finding out my suggestions are very helpful to you. So I would give a suggestion to this group of people. So in general, so you will learn to learn the language to help you to be go places much more easily and find jobs easily, and also to explore in the community much more easily, and then be able to make friends with the local people much more easily, and also kind of like help you to make you look good on your resume too. So I would say before you move to China, find some online course, learning from a Chinese online one-on-one. I can be the one to teach you if you want to do it, and then I would charge really little bit money for doing that. And then also you can also like learning by yourself on your own. Maybe just there's a lot like online course available. I think you can go online to find those, or you can just go to the local language school to learn in Chinese, or make a friend with the Chinese in your country, or maybe go hang out in the Chinese community to learn the language. So the second thing you need to know before you move to China is to learn to cook Chinese food. So right now in our country, it's very easy to get any stuff, or you can go to an import food store that is very nearby you, and then you can also you can order online, or even like order from another country. So I would say you can still find your home ingredients to cook, but then it probably very expensive and also could be very hard to find. And so if you are trying to start with a low budget in a new country, so you may want to learn to cook a Chinese food in order to saving your money. And also I personally think Chinese food is much more healthier, and also that's a plentiful ingredients you can pick up. And I know there are some food are very oily, not so much healthy, but tastes good. But then that's also a bunch like a really good cook and good healthy ingredients. And so yeah, you will. And also if you can cook a Chinese food, then you can go to the local market to shop, and then usually the price is very low, and it's healthy, and then it's easy to get. So that's a lot of videos online that can teach you how to cook it. You can also find in Chinese recipe online to learn to cook it before you go. Or maybe if you happen to have a Chinese friend in your life, then just go to your Chinese friend's house, or maybe ask your Chinese friend to come over to your house to teach you how to cook a Chinese food. The third thing you need to know before you move to China is to learn the culture. So very proudly saying our culture have 5,000 years long, and then we have like 56 minority, and then we have many city and many provinces, and that's a lot different, like local culture. And also not saying like our culture is last for like 5,000 years long, so our culture is very rich, and then it's very different. So and then we are also very kind of like a social type of people. We like to involve in each other's life, and so if you want to be able to getting along with the Chinese or in the Chinese community, or help to know the culture in order to help you to be able to living in our country and get job and able to getting along with the people. Say if you're from a Western country, like from America, or I don't know, just the Western country, then your culture is very different from our culture. So let's say take a very small example, when you go to someone's house, you want to find sitting on their table to eat, you may want to know where you're supposed to eat. If you happen to go to a traditional Chinese house with the parents, grandparents there, and also their siblings there, then most time they have like a table manner, and or like you're not supposed to put your chopstick straight down on the bowl, because that look like you're burning incense on something. So that's another thing you don't want to do to offending our culture. So anyway, learning the culture before you go. So the fourth thing you need to know before you move to China is to learn the community. So the reason I say to learn the community is like you need to finding out where are the Chinese going to have fun, and what do they do for fun, and what they don't like, and what they like to do. I'll take an example. Like when I was living in Japan, I was like I don't see much when I moved to the new town that I was going to live in. I just feel like I do not see anybody walking on the streets, and then people are much more private there, and then you just don't know, and also all the houses are very in distance from each other, and so you just don't know, like and I don't speak the language very well at that time, and so you just don't know where you're gonna find people to hang out, to make a friends with. And then I have to like go online to do some research, or maybe riding my bicycle to go around to do exploring, to finding out where are the people in my age to go for fun. And then until like I finding out there are skateboard park, and you need to pay to go there to have fun. And at that time I was actually start to learning skateboarding, so I would go there and then to hang out with the local skater. But it took me quite a while to finding out that spot. And it's quite different from China, because in China I just feel like everywhere I can do something with my friend. It's easy for me to meet people, because like in China I can just, as soon as I walk out from my apartment, I would start to run into my neighbors, and then my neighbors would say hi to each other, ask each other question. Or when you go into the elevator, and then people ask a question and say hi, and then next thing you realize was people invite you to do something together. Like in China, what I usually do with my friends is we will go, and it's also very different. Like when we get out, basically you get out of your apartment, and on the big street it's just like all the stores there, like the tea shop, the coffee shop, the game shop, and they are like a shopping mall or theater, or like a massage area. So they are all in walk distance. So it's easy for me to, as living in China, it's easy for me just walking around and then finding things to do, or to do with a friend. Or we will walk around to or me and my friend, we will meet in a bike shop, and then where there's a bike club, and we'll go there and get our bikes and go out to have a bike ride together. Or we will get together to a milk tea shop to get milk tea, sitting under the coconut tree on the street, hang out. Or we'll go to like a snack food street where have all the like different style of Chinese food or Chinese snack from all over China, and it's there, and then you can just eat with a friend, have fried ice cream, or like a chicken, or like a find a chicken, just all sorts of foods, hang out. And then, so if you want to make a friend and be able to just involve in the community, I think it's good for you to learn before you go about where people go for fun and what do they do for fun, because it could be very different from your country, because right now in the US everything is much more farther from each other. So I really take a while for me to finding out like where people go for fun, and then so stuff like that, yeah, you want to do before you move to China. And the 5 things you need to know before you move to China is to learn to be alone. I feel like this is much more not only applied to living to a foreigner who moved to China in the beginning, but also you can apply that to any country that you are going to move into. Just because you are new to that country, and then you don't speak the language that well yet, and then you don't know the places yet or the city you are living at, and so most likely in the beginning or in the first 6 months when you move there, you will be realize mostly you are being alone, unless you are moving out with a bunch of friends or one friend, or if you happen to be moved there alone, then, or unless you are living with like a host family. But if you just graduate from college and high school and moving there to live in there to get a job there, then I don't think you're gonna happen to have lots of people around of you, and so you have to taking time to make friends with the local people. So I would say learn to be alone this season, or use the time wisely. During this time, like when I was living in Japan, for the first 6 months, I would listen to music almost like most of the time. I basically listen to something maybe as long as I'm awake and I'm not with the people. I would basically listen to something all the time. I would listen to music. I will listen to an audio book. I will learning to something. It's kind of like a skill teaching online or on YouTube. I will using the time to read books that I really wanting to read, but that haven't having time to read. I will use the time to learning to cook. I will use the time to do exploring on my bicycle, going around to see what's going on in my community, and I'm doing all this by myself. And also I will use the time to learn to do gardening, to clean my house, to decorate my house, and also just using the time to wisely. Don't waste this time, and try to get out of the house as much as you can to do something fun for yourself. Try the local food. I mean, it's really cheap to eat outside of the home in China, especially. There's so many like option of like snacks, and then so many good food, and they are in reasonable price. So go out to eat, to exploring, and even say hi to people and start making friends. But however, if you move to a new country, you definitely have a season, 1 season, 2 season that you just kind of like, or even just the first whole year, depending on how like what kind of personality you are, introvert, extrovert. Then somebody even took a year, just most likely spend time alone all the time, travel alone. So for me, I feel like I maybe took the first 6 months was pretty a lot, like doing things alone, and then 6 months later, or maybe 7 months later, then I start to making friends with the local people, and then my life seems like start to become busier and busier. Just like work, hang out with the friends, go out, do things together with the friends, exploring things together with a friend. So yeah, learn to be alone is also very important. If you happen to be extrovert and then used to hang out with a bunch of friends, so if you move to a new country, then just learn to be alone, and that's something I have to learn. I'm an extrovert, and then so it's not easy, but then it's also a good timing, a good experience, and then also I think it's good timing for me to rest and to gradually start to settle down in a new country, and to get used to the new country, and new culture, and new lifestyle. And it's also a good time for me to do a lot of things that maybe I don't usually have time to do before I move to a new country. So yeah, that's the 5 things you need to know before you move to China. So if you have any more other question, you can comment under, and then I will try to make a video to answer those questions. Yeah, and also please subscribe to my channel, and I will try to make more videos about about sharing about cultures of China. Yeah, that's it. All right, see you later. Bye bye.